You're listening to the Money Mike Syndicated Radio Podcast. How you doing? Indiana Fever, Odyssey Sims. Great pickup for the Indiana Fever, picking up another gangster. That's right, gangster, hard-nosed player going to come play for the Indiana Fever. This one here kind of fell into the lap of the Indiana Fever. And there were talks of Odyssey Sims. Was she blackballed out of the WNBA? Well, when there's smoke, there's fire, and Money Mike looks at it from a different perspective. This started with Odyssey Sims, was on a hardship with the LA Sparks, actually was leading them in scoring, and also was playing well with Dallas as well. But the hardship says you got to go when the player returns, and no one else picked her up. Now, you look at fans loved Ari McDonald, and Ari McDonald's a great player. Great player. Really came in and did a good job for the Fever. I'm going to put this up a little bit higher for Odyssey Sims because you got a different type of player. And when there's smoke, there's fire. This situation, you got Kurt Miller coming out of L.A., really just moved on. They got Lynn Roberts, another pit bull in there as a coach. And so you look at this, and now they've got Kelsey Plum. And Miller and those guys are over there in Dallas, and they've got a bunch of guards. That one there is going to get interesting. When there's smoke, there's fire. I could tell disagreement. Dejanay left it, said they don't want to win, right? Promoting a different opportunity. But let's get back to the Fever. Fever got a bulldog. You got a bulldog that's going for blood, right? You got a bulldog that says, look, you bring me in here, and I promise you one thing, you're going to beat some teams. Now, the target is on the Fever's back because when you look at it, you got the Liberty, you got the Dream sitting up there at top. Fever 18-14. You've got the Dream coming in there at 20-11, and you've got the Liberty at 20-11. Fever could take down the first place. Let me tell you why. Odyssey Sims is playing for blood. You got somebody that can paint a Picasso in the paint, and this is what I'm going to have to explain to the Chicago Sky. You got to have a point guard. Right? And it's got to be interchangeable. And the most important thing about the point guard position is you got to be able to run the one or the two. It doesn't matter because who's ever closest to the basketball, whoever's got the momentum going, put it in their hands, right? Well, Odyssey Sims can shoot the three. Odyssey Sims can break down a defense, right? So it's a little bit different than McDonald. McDonald really wasn't looking at the structure, the rotations, the offensive and defensive rotations. Odyssey Sims is looking at those rotations. She gets it, right? And this is a veteran, and you're coming out of there. You got to understand Odyssey Sims. You look at her history. You want to look at her background. You're getting a Kim Mulkey player, right? You're getting a Baylor player that went 40-0, right? That'll never be forgotten. That will never be forgotten in her lifetime. And I'll tell you this, the Indiana Fever are going to have to fight. I'm going to tell you now, you're going to have to fight to get through the Liberty. You're going to have to fight to get through the Dream. And you got Sidney Johnson and the Mystics. They made a trade of Leah Edwards, but I want to see where that goes. And you got the Lynx over there. You're going to have to fight to get through them. You're going to have to fight to get through the Mercury, and you're going to have to fight to get through the Aces. So Indiana Fever, Odyssey Sims changes a lot because now Stephanie White has players. It's not going to be so much, once you put the offensive set in, that's really base, folks. Everything else is going to be the intangibles the player brings, what they see on the floor, what they feel they can attack. And Odyssey Sims knows the defensive rotations. Let's clear that. That's going to be a huge asset for the Indiana Fever. Now, why do I say she's going for blood? Got a bad treatment coming out of the WNBA, and she's going to get some get back. So when it comes to Dejanay Carrington, Odyssey Sims, we can handle it like ladies, or we can get into some gangster stuff. Kelsey Plum, we can handle it like ladies, or we can get into some gangster stuff. Natasha Cloud, we can handle it like ladies, or we can get into some gangster stuff. And that's what the ghetto pack of dogs, her and Taj have played together. So this is really the Indiana Fever, and Stephanie White really, really was explaining it. But Stephanie White, the deal is here. She's got to move from coaching these players. This is pros now, folks. This is the Money Mike Syndicated Radio Podcast. We're bringing it to you. WNBA coverage. We're going to give you the best that we can give you. When you get to this level, now you're in the third season of the WNBA. The fourth season is the playoffs, right? So you got this thing. You got to tell these players what you want. It's not about the offense, defensive design. It's not about defensive rotations or whatever. If you got another player on the other squad or you got another player you want to score, you better give them a number. Look, I need to get 18 out of you tonight because you got to slot all these players in. Lexi Hole and Odyssey Sims will work well together, right? Because Lexi's going to lock up, Odyssey's going to lock up. Indiana Fever, you know what? The basketball guys are shining. Now, I'm not saying in that context where players get injured, it's a good thing. But you had two players that were injured, and you're talking about Colson and McDonald, and the Fever were able to upgrade those two players. Guys, you got to understand, that's called relationships, and that's calling who can we go get that's going to best help us. You talk to your players, who can best help us? Who do you see out there? Because the players know. The players in the WNBA, they know who the real hoopers are. They know who the problem childs are. They know who's going to come in here and best fit. And Taja's got an old teammate coming out of Dallas, right? And she's been with the Sparks, been around. The most impressive thing I saw was 40-0 with Kim Mulkey. And, man, if you can get through Kim Mulkey, man, you can do about anything. Because Kim Mulkey, it gets volatile. It gets toxic in those practices, right? So now it's game time. It's the third part of the WNBA season. This is where you close out, you get your position. Fever could go in there at number one in the East. They're only a couple games out. And, New York slipping. And I'm telling you now, if you want it, go get it. The Dreamers sitting there 20-11. So it's Fever time. It's Indiana. You got to do what you got to do. I'd recommend to the players, James Dean, Stephanie White, go out and get her some bunch of leathers so she could just put her leather Fever jacket on. I like the Nike Coke, but that's not leather. Right? And it's got to be tailored to fit. Like, get her comfortable. Get her a favorite drink that she likes on the sideline. Get her a towel like I was thinking of Jerry Tarkanian at Las Vegas with the towel, right? Or Jimmy Boeheim. You got to get those coaches something to keep them busy because they'll go nuts on the sideline. But the Fever got a bulldog that's playing for blood. That's right. Odyssey Sims is coming in. Career average, 9.8 points a game, right? So she's used to what she's being asked to do. So it's not going to be anything different for her. Odyssey Sims averaged 9.8 points a game, came in there 2.9 rebounds, 3.5 assists, and 0.8 steals. That was in a controlled system. You put her in the Fever system, it's going to be game time, folks. This is the Money Mike Syndicated Radio Podcast. We're going to keep it coming. And like I said, every day is a great day, but in the WNBA, Indiana Fever struck gold again. You can put a 7X multiple on this one from what they had currently to what they're getting now. And like I said, it's my opinion, but if it turns to truth, folks, I'll give you the facts before it happens. I'll be about 60 days ahead of the national media. But the game is a game, and you must be true to it. And the Indiana Fever are about to make a move in the third part of the season. And I haven't even mentioned, that's my next story. She's back. Caitlin's on the way. So we're going to figure it out, but you stay tuned. And I appreciate you tuning in, all the new viewers as well. This is the Money Mike Syndicated Radio Podcast.